Safety moment Igualiola.
It is all over the news about the massive and destructive explosion that happened in Beirut, Lebanon, which was felt to as far as 24 kilometers away from the site of the explosion, to tell you how massive it was. 78 people have been reportedly dead and still counting. 4,000 plus of people have been reported to have been injured, and hundreds of homes have been left inhabitable. When I heard about this accident, what only came into my mind was the safety of my dear country, Nigeria. Join me as we discuss on this episode of Safety Moment with Waliola. Our heartfelt condolence goes to the people of Lebanon. May this be the end of such disaster in your country and every other country in the world. This enormous blast, which shattered windows, knocked down doors, and shook buildings, have been reported to have been caused by 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, which was stored. In 1921, in Germany, 4,000 tons of ammonium nitrate exploded and killed 500 people. In 1947, in Texas, 2,000 tons of ammonium nitrate again exploded and killed 581 people. In April 17, 2013, that is 7 years ago, a fertilizer plant in Texas exploded. I think 20 tons of ammonium nitrate exploded and led to death of 13 to 14 people and also hundreds of people injured. Ammonium nitrate, among other chemicals, are very explosive. Not only ammonium nitrate, there are other chemicals that are being used industrially. They are being used in various sectors within us, even at home, that are explosive, that are wasting time bomb, and we need to understand and know how to play along. It's not only our responsibility, but also the responsibility of the government to regulate all these use and storage of these chemicals. Nitrate is a crystal-like white substance, solid, produced in large quantities. This ammonium nitrate is being used in the agricultural sector in farms as fertilizers, and is also being used in the mining industry for blasting, that is, to break down hard rocks like limestone and the likes. This dangerous and highly explosive chemical is produced by the reaction of ammonia and nitric acid. Ammonia on its own is used in paints, is used in producing paints, and is also being used as refrigerants. Nitric acid is also being used to make plastic and dyes, etc. Ammonia, locally, domestically, we use it domestically. Some people use it in their homes, they keep it in their homes, and they use it as a cleaning agent, and some also use this same ammonia for killing bugs, for bug bites, for killing bugs. All these things are the reasons why we need to talk about the safety of not only ammonia, not only nitric acid, not only ammonium nitrate, but every explosive substance that we have and we use daily, directly or indirectly. All these dangerous and explosive substances are readily available in the market. But for the purpose of this discussion, we'll be focusing on ammonium nitrate, while we'll discuss other chemicals too. When you go to Ojota market, you know where they sell chemicals in Ojota, those chemicals are readily available. And what baffles me is that there are no regulation in place about the storage and the use of these chemicals. These chemicals are being used and being sold carelessly in Ojota market there. And I sometimes I get scared of people living in that kind of vicinity, because a lot of chemicals are being embedded in that area. That area is an example of a waiting time bomb. Kindly note that ammonium nitrate on its own is stable, but there are some other reactions that can occur that will make it to lead to an explosion. If you look at the explosion that happened in Beirut, you will observe that there was an initial fire occurrence that has happened. Something triggered the accident. Something triggered the fire, which was the primary explosion. The secondary explosion was as a result of the agitations and other things that have ignited and led to the ammonium nitrate releasing energy spontaneously. Ammonium nitrate can be activated into becoming an explosive when it comes in contact with fuel, contaminated with fuel, or there's any spark anywhere. It will make it to ignite, and it generates it on its own. it's occurred with an exothermic reaction. In chemistry we call it exothermic reaction. That exothermic reaction means that you continue releasing energy, releasing heat, and spontaneously the destruction will continue like that. So that's how destructive these chemicals are, and we have them readily. Some even store it carelessly in their homes without knowing the consequences. Some people put in their store which is close to their kitchen, which is a waiting time bomb. We need to regulate the use of all these chemicals that are really causing dangers to us. We shouldn't wait till we have something like Lebanon before our government take responsibility of the safety of the citizens. Most of these companies around us use one chemical or the other that poses danger to citizens, that poses danger to people living in its community. And the funniest thing is that there are no regulatory bodies to give rules and regulation, policies, guidelines on where and where not to have industries. Ojota as an example, where I was born and where I was brought up. For example, where we have hundreds of industries within the vicinity. If you go to areas like Alishiba, if you go to areas like Ojota, Yano, you will see a lot of industries. If you are coming towards, like you are going to Joko, Beirut, gas industries. If you are going towards Ifo, you will see a lot of industries, plastic industries that make use of these chemicals. And these are even the areas where people are living. There is no guideline, there is no procedure on where and where not to build your house, or where and where not to build your industries. These are examples of things that can lead to great disaster in our country. Our regulatory bodies need to take charge of all these things. In America, they have Ojota, and they also have CSB for chemical safety boards. In this our same country, we have companies that use chemicals that are very dangerous. It is time to start taking responsibility and start creating the awareness. There should be awareness, there should be community awareness, hazard awareness in communities where these companies operate, for people to know what to do in case of accidents, or in case of an explosion, or in case of things that will become unfavorable. There can be toxic release. It might not be explosion, it might be a release of a gas. There was an accident that happened in India where there was a release of gas and it was killing people silently. All these things are things that need to be taken care of by our government. Like I've been saying, the government needs to stand up to its responsibility to ensure the safety of lives and properties. That is the reason why we voted for them, to ensure the safety of life and properties of everyone living in Nigeria. ISPON as a body too needs to stand up to its responsibility to ensure that they support in government in ensuring safety at every point in time. ISPON needs to create hazard awareness in communities where these industries are. These industries that uses hazardous chemicals that these community members, these community citizens don't even know. ISPON needs to create a kind of a communication, delete the communication gap between these communities and these industries, for them to be aware of what is awaiting them. And even before then, there should be regulation on how these factories and these homes will be built. Factories should not be built where there is within residential areas, while people should not build their homes where we have industrial areas. All these things need to be put in place. All these regulations need to be established, unless we will have a very serious situation in which we will not be able to handle. Also, our government needs to plan for emergency situations. In the whole of Ojota, that houses more than hundreds of industries, I think we only have one fire station. I don't even think it is even functional. We don't have good fire facilities, fire emergency response facilities in Ogun State. Even in Nigeria as well, I don't think there is that level of fire safety awareness in the whole of Ogun State, in the whole of Nigeria. So all these things need to be put in place. As far as I'm concerned, I was brought up in Ogun State, in Songwater, in Ota. We have a lot of industries there. I've not seen one fire hydrant. I've not seen one fire hydrant system like this. All those ones that I used to see in some place in Lagos State, all those red ones. I've never seen it in the whole of Songwater. I don't know if you have it. This is very bad. The government needs to take on its responsibility. ISPON as a body also needs to engage professionals. Take away politics. Don't jeopardize the life of people because of politics. Engage safety professionals. We should draft policies, draft regulations, move with the government, support the government Tell the government why we need to be supported, so that there will be safety at every point in time. We need to draft regulations on all these things. There are a lot of things that is wrong in Nigeria. You will see a fuel station. You will, at the back of the fuel station, people are living there. They have their homes there. There should be distancing. All these things need to be put in place. I don't want to go deeply into issue of all these things, but I'm focusing on companies that uses chemicals, and we too in our homes. If you have all these chemicals, you shouldn't store chemicals in your homes. It is not for you to store in your homes. If you need to use any chemical, make sure that it is part of those chemicals that has been regulated to be used at home. We don't even have a regulatory body in the first place that regulates all these things. Please, let us ensure our safety. What happened in Lebanon, we pray it doesn't happen in our country, but prevention, they say, is better than cure. We need to plan adequately for the worst case scenario. Thank you. I remain Waliullah, and this is what we have for us on today's episode of Safety Moment with Waliullah.